Tori, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today you guys will be watching my everyday full foundation routine. This is what I do every day on a regular basis. Mostly when I have time. So I don't want to talk too much, so we'll get right into the video. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel right there. And give this video a good old thumbs up. It'd be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So we're first going to start off with the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. So I've been using this primer for about either 6 months or longer. I don't know. But I love it a lot. I do about a pump and I put it on these areas of my face. This is where my pores are the largest, and kind of you want to put it in your crease areas. So I put it in my smile lines, all over my chin, my T-zone area, and kind of just blend it out throughout the cheeks. Alright, so now that that is done, the skin is all prepped and primed, we'll be moving on to my actual foundation that I use. So I'm someone that loves full coverage foundation. I just like having a blank slate on my face so I can, you know, really go in and contour and make everything how I want it to look. So I've been using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation for probably over 6 months now too. Probably like, I don't know, 8. And I absolutely love it. It is very heavy, very full coverage, but it's not bread and butter. And I use this foundation in the color Latte, which is 300N. This is a little dark for my skin tone, but that's okay. To start off, I just do one pump, like that. And then I go in with a concealer brush, and honestly, this is something I took from my mom when I was little, from Put Up Her Makeup collection, and it's like probably the easiest way for me to put on my foundation, and I absolutely love it. So I just dip it in there a little bit and I make just like 3 stripes. I'm gonna be hitting my earring a lot, I just know it. And then I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender. If you don't wanna, you know, pay the high price of a beauty blender, you can also use like the Real Technique sponge. I like both a lot. You're just gonna go in and start, oh, it's damp by the way. You just start blending it out, and you want to try to blend it out as much as you can on the edges just to fill up some space. So I start down on the chin just to get some product there. So with this, the amount of product that I put on my cheeks, I like to take up the side of my forehead and kind of up in here, because that's about as much product as I can get out of it, and into my chin area before I put on any more. So then I go in and, you know, get my forehead, my nose, chin, and a mustache. So just gonna do the same thing, just go in and blend it out. I don't go completely under my eyes when I blend out with my foundation, because I found that it just gets too cakey when you add on concealer. Make sure you go all the way up to your hairline, and I like to take whatever's left over on my beauty blender and just kind of go over my eyelids and on the inner corner, just to get a good base. I'm gonna go in and add a little more to my neck and just blend that out. Good enough. So I've used about 1 pump's worth right now, so I'm gonna go in with like a half pump, I guess. And we're just gonna go in and fix some areas that need more full coverage. That was just a light layer that I put on. I have some scars and acne that is poking through. So I'm gonna go in again and just go over those spots. I'm not gonna go over the full face again, since this is thick, you don't want it to look cakey. So you just wanna go into the spots where you just need a little extra boost. So these are just some of the areas that I needed to add a little bit more foundation to. And so when I go in this time with the beauty blender, I'm not going to press as hard. I'm just going to lightly go over those areas so that it doesn't pick up too much product and take away from that full coverage. So you go over it and then just start to go around. And there we go. So the next step is using concealer. So lately for my makeup looks and my everyday foundation routine, I like to use a lighter concealer, something that's not like 1 tone underneath my foundation. I like to go maybe like 3 tones underneath. For my concealer, I have been using this probably for a couple years, and I don't know if I can ever go away from it. It is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I use it in the color Light Neutral. It's literally been my favorite concealer. So just like the foundation, it is very thick, full coverage, and I love it. I did try using the Huda Beauty concealer, and I just thought that was honestly too thick, and I thought it was just kind of hard to work around. So that's when I went back to my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So what I normally do is just put 3 dots here, 2 down the nose, on the chin, and right there. So again, going with the Beauty Blender. This time we're using the tip of it. This time we're using the other end of it, and we're just gonna go in and start blending it out. We're gonna start low and then work our way up. That way we don't put too much product underneath the eye, or else I'll cause a lot of creasing, and we don't want that. So start and go down to about your nose, work your way up, look up, and blend out. You kind of want to go in a triangle pattern. So down here, triangle out, and back in. So depending on your face shape, it depends on how far out you go with the concealer and the kind of look you're going for. So since I have kind of actually a round face, I don't like to go all the way out, or also make my face look a lot wider, and I don't want that. So go in with the other side, do the same thing. And if you're having a trouble time, or if you're having the trouble, does that make sense? If you're having trouble blending it out at the bottom, take the other side of your Beauty Blender that you used with your foundation and just use that to blend that out. And then go in with the same side and blend it out just in the middle. You don't want to go too far out, all the way up to the hairline. Blend out the nose, your chin, and your little bit. So something that I've been doing that I actually love is, so I'm going to go in with a second time and just do 3 little dots down here, and then unlike before, I'm not going to go all the way up underneath my eye. I'm just going to concentrate it more in this general area. I think that way it just gives it even more coverage, makes it even more brighter, and I just like it. So this time you're going to just lightly go in. You're not going to press as hard, and then just work that into the skin. I know it's such a little thing to do, and it seems a little extra, but I think it just makes such a huge difference and makes it a lot more brighter underneath there. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can tell. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the cream contouring, or yeah. So lately I've just been using the classic LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I've been using it in the color Fawn. What you're gonna do is get out a little bit. Make sure you can see it. You're just gonna start about, where are you gonna start? I start anywhere from like the middle of your ear to the top of your ear, and you're only gonna go down a little bit like that. And so the line that you're gonna go with is going to about the corner of your mouth on each side. So that's about the angle that you want it to go at. So again, I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender, use this side of it so the point is towards your ear, and you're just gonna blend that out. Just pat on the same area and then work your way up. You don't wanna work your way down, work it up just a smidge. And you only wanna go about this far in. When it comes to contouring, it's easy to get carried away with it. Something I've learned is obviously start small and you can always build on top of it. So if I feel like I need a little bit more, I can just go in and add just a tiny bit more and then just work with that. Okay, so now contouring with the rest of the face. So this is what I think is really important and something that I think people don't really think about. So something that I like to do when I do my contouring, I have a very, like I said, I have a very round face, so I want to make my face look a lot longer. So for my contouring, I don't go all the way around my hairline. I just focus mostly on the sides and keep the lightness of the concealer straight down and the shadows on the side. So I don't put my contour along my hairline because that'll just make my face seem a lot more squattier, which I do not want. So again, I'm just gonna put a little on the sides by my eyebrows, and then work on blending that in. You want to make sure it goes back towards your hairline again. And then I like to stop about mid-eyebrow is where I like to stop blending it. And then again, I've noticed in my past pictures that I don't do a good job of blending that contour in right there. So I'm going to go back in with the foundation side of my Beauty Blender and just really blend that in. There we go. Alright, so now moving on to the powders. So I would say for the past couple months, I have been using the Urban Decay. It's a compact translucent powder. I thought it was okay, but I kind of missed, you know, going back with the loose powder and really baking my face. So I wanted to try something new besides the Laura Mercier powder, which is, you know, it's a really good product. Love it so much. But since Fenty Beauty just came out with their new powder, I had to try it out. I had the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter setting powder in banana. And so I know she has a couple different setting powders. I know I have a yellow undertone, so using the banana color powder would be perfect for my skin. So I'm gonna be taking a small beauty blender, or it's a Real Technique sponge, but you know. So it's damp. I'm gonna press it into the powder. I'm gonna look up and set underneath my eyes and go down to my nose. So basically in that area where I used concealer earlier. And this is the area where I get really oily as well, like in that area. I'm gonna go set my forehead because I get some lines about the top of my forehead. I'm gonna set that, my chin, and then I'm also gonna set my smile lines because throughout the day I've noticed that they can become more prominent and kind of break up my makeup, so I'm gonna press that in. Yay! While I like to let that sit, I like to move on to my eyebrows. So I'll do that really quickly off camera because that's not technically part of the foundation routine, and that can be set aside for another video. So I will be right back. And I'm back. I don't do that much with my eyebrows, but finally got those done. Literally took like 2 minutes, so that's cool. So now I'm gonna re-wet this mini sponge with some spray. And then I'm gonna go in and press in all that powder and really set that in. A reason that I don't like to go over the full face with that powder is because I like to be very strategic with where I place my products. So basically the only areas I didn't really go into is the place where I contoured. I like to go in with a contour palette and put some powder over that. So I just think adding more product on top of each other will make it more cakey, and you want to get the most out of the product as possible. So I think just adding a whole bunch of layers on top of each other doesn't necessarily help. So speaking of contouring, again, we will be going into the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Contour Palette. Again, I've been using this product for like a very long time. Honestly, I think I got this like 2 years ago. It's the only contour palette I've used, and there's still so much product left, so that's really exciting for me. For this next part, I'm going to be taking the Morphe M523 brush. So it's a pretty thick brush, and I like to go in with Carrot, which is this third color in, and it's one of the lightest shades they have in the palette, and it has some shimmer to it, so I kind of like that. So I'm barely gonna tap into that. I've noticed a lot that my makeup can get patchy if I don't pay real close attention to it. So what I've been liking to do is just pat that in to my contour. You're still gonna follow that line, but just kind of pat that in and really focus on where you want the product to be placed. So with the leftover, I just go on the side of my face and then do the same thing on the other side. You can stray away from that line a little bit and just go a little higher, and then just kind of blend it out upwards. And then what I like to do is just pinch the brush and go underneath my nose, and then the sides of my nose, and then under my under here. So a reason I don't use the cream to contour my nose is just because I'm lazy, to be honest, and I don't really necessarily think that I need that much contouring on my nose. At least right now I don't. So that's just a little extra step I like to do just to add a little bit more dimension, I guess, to my face. So yeah. Next I'm gonna go back in with that Fenty powder with the same little sponge and just carve out underneath on both sides. So while I let that sit for a little bit, I'm gonna go on to my eye look, which I'll do off camera, and then we'll come back. So see you soon. All right, so I'm back. I finally put some lips and some eyes on. Now I'm gonna take just a brush and a clean brush and just wipe all of this away. And if when you're done you think it's too harsh of a line, which I do sometimes and which how I feel right now, I'm gonna go back in with my contour brush and just kind of blend out that area just a little bit without any extra product. And something I totally skipped and missed was blush. So I'm gonna be using my L'Oreal True Match blush in the color Innocent Flush. So this is a blush that I like to use. It's not too crazy and it's just something that gives you a little bit more of a healthy glow of a look. I'm just gonna smile and put it on the apples of my cheeks and work it back just a little bit. Next, I've been liking to set my face in the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. And I'm almost out, so I need to go get more. But we're just gonna spray the whole face. Oh God. And since I just put mascara on, you have to be careful not to do anything with your eyes. So next I'm gonna go in with my Becca Cosmetics highlighter. It is the pressed highlighter in Champagne Pop, one of my favorite highlighters, but unfortunately Becca took a fall one day and now she looks like that. Very upsetting. So with that facial spray still kind of fresh on, you want to like dry it a little bit, but while it's still a little fresh, I like to go in with the Morphe M510 brush. Looks like this. It's just a little fluffy brush. Go in lightly with this color, and we're just gonna put it on the tops of our cheeks. So right in this area. Yeah, see? Yeah. And just kind of feather it out a little bit. Same thing on the other side. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more and actually go up the sides of my face and finish kind of where that contour finished, right in the middle of the eyebrow with very little product, like very little. Then I like to put a little on my chin. And then I go in with a small little tapered brush and I go down the bridge of my nose. And then make a little dot right here just to accentuate the tip. And then even though I put highlighter already underneath my eyebrows, I like to go in with this just to kind of blend in all of that highlighter that we use throughout the face. So after you put all that on, I'm going to go back in with some spray and spray your face again. So we're finally done with the makeup look. So this is my everyday foundation routine. This is what I've been doing for quite a while now. That didn't make sense. This is what I've been doing for quite some time. There we go, that makes sense. These are the products that I found have worked best with my skin so far. Obviously, I will be adapting and changing to new products that come out and ones that I haven't tried yet. But this has been what has worked for me, and hopefully you've picked up some tips and tricks for you. Even though if you don't use the same products, you can possibly use the same techniques and feel more confident with your makeup look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a blast filming it, and it was, like I said earlier, long overdue. Very long overdue. So before I close out this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give it a good old thumbs up, which you should have done in the first place. But, you know, I get it, procrastinators, you save it till the end. That's okay, I'll give you time to do it right now. Thank you. Make sure you follow me at thetorimills on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Alright. Oh. my intro now. Hey guys, welcome back. Oh my god, I forgot to stop filming.